Okay, we have a local brand here today from Ohio called S.N. Pike's Magnolia Spirits, which celebrates Samuel and Pike's heritage on Cincinnati as a rectifier and liquor merchant of spirits from nearby Kentucky distilleries from all across the Ohio River and blending it for great flavor and color. His flagship brand was Magnolia, and with the help of an Ohio entrepreneur, it's back. What's up? I am Jason C. on the Mash and Drum, and today we are talking Magnolia Spirits. S.N. Pike's Magnolia was first established in Cincinnati by Samuel Pike in 1849, producing whiskey and bourbon blends that were soon shipped around the U.S. and Europe. He amassed a fortune that allowed him to help open Pike's Opera House in both his hometown and in Manhattan. But by the start of the 20th century, Pike's whiskey business grounded to a halt and the brand disappeared with it. That changed when Ed Carey, a former real estate developer and bourbon fan from Central Ohio, learned about the S.N. Pike's Magnolia brand and decided to bring it back into circulation. The spirits themselves are sourced from MGP and are being proofed and bottled at Noble Cut Distillery right here in Gahanna, Ohio. Alright, so the first two releases that I saw included a wheated bourbon, which is made with 45% wheat, 51 corn, 4% malted barley, aged for over 3 years in American oak with a number 4 char, and proofed down with Kentucky spring water. The other is a bottled and bond 95.5 rye, aged for 4 years in American oak, number 4 char, and also proofed with that Kentucky spring water. They also just released this barrel-proof version of their wheated bourbon using that same 45% wheat mash bill. This one is bottled at 125.12 proof, 4+ years old. Alright, so let's start with the wheater. This comes in at 94 proof. It retails for about 50 bucks. So let's give it a go. Man, I get a ton of citrus on this. Nice little medicinal cherry note. Actually, a lot of cherry. I'm actually picking up root beer. It's like so crazy. I don't know what's with wheaters lately, but wheaters, like got really lucky to try William LaRue Weller. It wasn't my bottle, but I got to try William LaRue Weller. And even like past ones, I'm just picking up root beer all the time now in wheated bourbons. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I get a distinct like vanilla root beer float note going on in this. A little bit of that citrus and cherry, of course. Nice little caramel. Smells nice. I mean, it smells super soft. You kind of get that wheat type of experience on there. You kind of get that wheat grain. Let's give it a go. Wow. That was way better than I thought it would be. Not that I thought it'd be bad. I just thought man, it's got some good flavor for a 94 proofer. 50 bucks. Go for another sip here. That drink's nice. I mean, again, they're sourcing this from MGP, which we know they make fantastic whiskey. But I think their wheated bourbon mash bill is probably a little bit underrated. Everyone goes crazy for the bourbons, and everyone talks about the 95 rye, which is right here, which we'll get to. But their wheated bourbon mash bill, I'm really digging it. Again, you're at that 51% corn, 45% wheat, so you got a nice, good amount of wheat in there. But this is really bringing those really nice, like I said, the root beer, cherry characteristic. Maybe it's more of like a root beer float with like cherry Garcia ice cream a little bit. But man, if you like a wheater, this drink's real easy for a wheated bourbon. I mean, wheated bourbons generally are supposed to drink easy, but this one is really nice. I mean, this falls right in line for me with, I think, with a Weller. I'm not saying this is better than Weller or Weller is better than this. I think it really just depends on your palate and where you like to go with wheated bourbon. Plus, Weller is generally a little bit more older than this. You're looking at 6 to 7 years old rather than the 4 here. But for what this has, for a 4-year-old wheated bourbon for 50 bucks, this is really nice. Yeah, I'm telling you, you guys like wheaters? This Magnolia is really good. So next up in the lineup is their Bottled and Bond Rye Whiskey, which is a 95.5 rye whiskey. Obviously, again, sourced from MGP, cut with that Kentucky water. And this one retails for about $54.99, so a little bit higher than the bourbon. Let's go into this one here. All right, nothing surprising here. Just very solid 95.5 rye whiskey. Actually getting a little bit of a bubblegum note on this, which I don't normally get from a rye. I think my nose is super sensitive today or something. I'm just picking up all these crazy flavors. A lot of citrus. This is more on the citrus side. Sometimes you try those 95.5 ryes, you get a little bit more on the savory than the citrus. This is a lot of citrus. Black tea, honey. Almost getting like a eucalyptus note in there too. Just kind of cool, different. But yeah, it's on the sweeter side of a 95.5 rye. Let's give it a go. All right, on the palate, I think the sweet gives way to more of those traditional rye flavors. Again, the black tea, a lot of citrus though. You still get black pepper. So this being Bottled and Bond 100 proof, it actually drinks kind of nice. The only thing I'm not crazy about this one is it's giving me a little bit of a bitter aftertaste, slightly. A little bit drying on the back of the palate. But again, it's still on the sweeter side. I don't know, maybe not my favorite of the two. I still think I'm leaning towards the wheater if I'm going to spend the money. The rye is good. One last sip. But yeah, something about the rye where I'm not getting enough flavor punch either way. Like I want either more sweet or I want either more spice. And it's kind of, it's so much like kind of living in the middle. Like I want it one way or the other, and it's not really giving it to me. So yeah, so I think for this one, there's probably some better ryes out there on the shelf for the money. I mean, looking at Pikesville, if you're looking for even like a mixer, you could still get, either Rittenhouse or you could get Old Forester for about 20 bucks, 23, $25. So this for the money, at that 100 proof, I like it, but like I said, I think it's just like fighting to go either one way or the other. All right, so the next one I'm really excited to try is their barrel proof wheater. Again, this comes in at 120 proof. Again, with that 45% wheat mash bill. This one retailed for about 65 bucks. So let's go into the nose here. See if we get any similarities to this one. All right, so not so much of the root beer on the nose on this one. This one I'm getting a lot more of the cherry. Cherry, cinnamon, a little bit of apple peel. But this one it's not just like an apple. This one's coming through like a red delicious or a gala apple. A lot of like red, super red apple peel. Again, that cherry kick. You definitely get your nice rich caramel here. There's kind of a creme brulee thing going on, some brown sugar too. All right, let's try this one. This is nice. It has a lot of what I liked about this, the wheated bourbon. Yeah, the cherry, a little bit more proof, citrus. Yeah, very sweet. Again, even at 120 proof, it drinks nice and easy for a wheater. Man. I think the barrel proof, though, is kind of missing the nuance. I mean, generally, I love higher proof stuff, barrel proof stuff, but I think some of this cut down to 93 has opened a little bit more of those wheated bourbon flavors. This is nice. A little bit more ethanol in here. You definitely get the alcohol punch. I gotta say, I think my favorite of this, if I have to go down the line, this bourbon, this Magnolia Spirits wheated bourbon, that's my number one. This is delicious. This has a really beautiful balance. I think people would pay a lot more for like a Weller 107 or anything like that, or even just regular Weller Green Label, and it kind of lives somewhere in between that. Really good flavors. I think it's got that floral component with the wheat. It's fruity, got a little bit of a finish on it, but not you know, to the detriment of people that love wheated bourbons. The rye could probably take it or leave it. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad either. Just like I said, I just wish it wanted to go either sweet or it wanted to go spicy or give me the best of both worlds. Just really didn't get there for me. For the barrel proof wheater, I'm not really sure of the allocation of this or how widespread it is. I know it's pretty limited, but if you like higher proof wheaters, this will do. The only thing that I'm saying is that the added alcohol, I think, takes away from the nuance of what this bourbon has. So if I was looking at a shelf and you see these and I'm looking at all three, go for this wheated bourbon. I think it's absolutely delicious. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this review as we looked at SN Pike's Magnolia Spirits. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Let me know if any of you guys out there have had these or have seen these around you, especially all of you guys viewing from Ohio. And like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers, and I'll see you next time right here on the Mash and Drum. Take care, everybody. Gonna have more of this wheated bourbon. It's good, right? It's good. Again, nothing to say, this guy.